Hey guys, welcome to Field of Vape. This is my new channel. I've not done video reviews on YouTube and stuff like that before, so I'm all new to this, so you're going to have to bear with me. The quality might not be all that great and stuff like that, but that's basically what I want to do. I started vaping in August last year, and from there I stopped smoking, and it's become like a hobby really for me now. So I wanted people to see my journey and see what I've done with it. Basically, everything I'm reviewing at the moment is all the stuff that I've bought personally myself. Today we're going to review the Kangertech Subox Mini kit. This was my first vape. I've got the black one in the box all ready to go to show you what you get in the box and everything like that. So let's see what happens. So this is a great starter kit for people. I started on it. Just to let you know, you will see cats creep in and out of this video. My other half, she's a bit of a crazy cat lady. I've got 3 cats, so don't be surprised if you see them jumping up and around and about and everything else like that. Okay. So the Kangertech Subox Mini, the mod device is from up to 50 watts. The Sub Tank Mini can go up to 60 watts. Personally, from my own recommendations, I wouldn't vape it at 60 watts. I think it struggles at 50, to be honest with you. I think 60 is way out of its capability, in my personal opinion. When I got this, I started vaping at 20 watts when I first started, and you get a nice cloud production from that. At the time it seemed like loads, but now it seems like next to nothing. So when you get one, you're going to start with a box that looks upside down like this. Hope you can see that alright. And when you open up the box, first thing you're going to see is your mod and your tank in there like that. On the side here it's got loads of like bits, lists of what it comes with and so on and so forth. If I take this little tray out with the mod and the tank in it, that is already got juice in it, prime, it's ready to go in that sense. I made sure it was already ready so I didn't have to mess about priming coils and stuff like that. If any of you starters out there want me to sort of go into that in a bit more detail, please comment, and we'll have a look at that for you. Also, what you get in here is loads of leaflets and bits like that. You get a little pack here with a little screwdriver and some spare screws. That's for your RBA coils, your rebuildable coils that you get the coil for in here, which I'm going to show you now. That's if I can get it out. I don't want to come out today. Which is there. Basically, you can unscrew this, and inside you've got a little vertical coil in there. And yeah, you make your own coils, put them in there. I have used the RBA coil. I found I like simplicity. I don't like complex things. It's not as much as it's not complex. I like things that are going to just work. Screw it in, let's go, let's vape, let's rock and roll sort of thing. So I weren't a massive fan, I'll be honest, of the RBA coil. You also get a 1.5 ohm coil. Now the coil we're going to be using today is the 0.5, the sub ohm coil. This is the above ohm coil here, okay? That's more for your like mouth to lung hits and stuff like that. So if you're still sort of craving them cigarettes a bit more, you can use that. So it's more like a cigarette as opposed to a direct lung inhale. You also get some cotton, which they give you for wicking up your coils. Okay, so in here you get this little leaflet here as well. If you can see that, it kind of gives you an idea of, well, one, how to prime the coils, but also gives you sort of like your VG, PG mixes of the juices to use and the wattages to use them at. Authentication verification, so you can scan the QR code on here and find out that it is a real Kangertech device. And then you also get an instruction manual of how it all comes apart and so on and so forth in there. Oh yeah, you also get these red strips to put on the battery. Now you're meant to wrap these around the battery, because as you'll see via this one, if I pull this black one out here, mine's green on the inside at the moment. Can you see that? Now, what I've done with mine, which isn't actually on here at the moment, it must be a different battery, is I just laid one strip down there. In case you have to replace batteries, you can have it so it's nice and red and it matches like the buttons and stuff like that on the front of it there. This comes off, it's just a magnetic strip, as you see there, magnetic strip comes straight off, and you need 118/650 battery, which doesn't come with it. I'll take that out for you so you can see that. 118/650. So I'll put that back in there for you. So we're all ready to rock and roll. Now I'm going to screw the tank on top of the mod. A slight leak. Let's clean that up. That can happen, slight leaks here and there. Nothing major, just a slight one. Okay, so there we go. That is what we're looking at the moment. So this is the 0.5 coil in here. I'll be honest, as a startup kit, I really recommend it because it gives you the touch of everything you're going to come across in your sort of early vaping stages. Things like RBA coils, you know, you might want to go on to drippers and stuff like that in towards the end. So you're going to need to know how to make your own like coil and stuff. Really recommend things like that because you're going to come across it and you're going to be intrigued. Where this gives you like a slight introduction to everything before you've even got there and that far into it. So it's brilliant in that sense. What we're going to do is we're going to fire at 20 watts again. So that's what I started at when I first got the device. On here you've got a plus and a minus button. So I don't know if you can see that. And you just hold it down and it'll go down faster and stuff like that. But give me one time, let's put that to 20 watts. And we're going to have a little vape. So yeah, that's a 20 watt vape. Got custard creams in here at the moment. It's lovely. It's really nice. Yeah, 20 watts. As a startup kit, I can't fault it. It does what it says on the tin. It's perfect. However, once you get a bit later into your vaping and you've been doing it for a while now, and you know you want to make that next step up and stuff like that, you start coming across other bits and bobs, that other tanks mainly, that you get far better flavour from. That's what I found personally, my personal opinion. The flavour become very bland on this. I'd go into my local vape shop and they're like, I'll try this flavour, and I'll try it. Brilliant. I buy it, buy the flavour, come home, put it in, and it just doesn't taste the same. It bland and things like that. So you've got to be very careful with the flavours that you buy in this. But when you're starting out, I mean, you're used to having tobacco in your mouth, and let's face it, nobody likes the taste of tobacco. So it's not a bad thing. You still get that flavour. Once you start vaping on it a lot, you get, I don't know, just used to that flavour, or you buy another flavour and it's like, there's just nothing in it. So I'd recommend maybe buying another tank after that can go on it, that you're going to get better flavour from. You know, go and speak to your local vape shop, stuff like that. I personally did buy another tank, which is going to lead me to another video. Once I get that, obviously the next video will be on that. It's the UL Crown tank. I brought that as so I could get it on here, but it can also use it on my higher wattage devices as well, and it works fantastically on this. I will say that. But that's where I am at basically. That's what I've done, just so I get better flavour. I've got more open choices with juices. I'm not so nervous about trying a juice because it's like, well, am I actually going to taste it, or is it going to just be bland and horrible? As you can see, there's a cat there now, just walking behind that sheet there. Can you see it? Little gits they are, I tell you. Anyway, so we're going to do another vape now. So I'm going to turn the wattage up to 25. So you can see that. Today, at some point, I reckon, we'll get there. So this is a 25 watt. Not bad, huh? So there you go, that's 25 watts. Now we're going to crank that up a little bit. Now I'm going to go up to 35 watts. It's 35. I don't know if you guys can see that. But here we go. Again, it does what it says on the tin. It's the starter kit. I'm getting a big cloud for starting out. Hey, it's not going to give you obviously the same cloud production from the the devices that go up to 160 watts, and stuff like that. But it does its job. It does what it needs to. I'm going to crank it up now again to 40. So we're now at 40 watts. Let's vape this thing. And let's say that's at 40 watts. Now that is about the highest, personally, I would go with it. You get too many sort of burnt hits and stuff like that when you get up to 50. For how much I was using it, it's just, I find with a 50 you can get one out of it if you're lucky, and then you need to leave it sitting for another 5 minutes to re-wick and stuff like that. Otherwise it's game over in that sense. You're just going to get, there's nothing like the taste of a dry or burnt hit. It is awful. I can't really say much more. I mean, I don't know about other people's personal experiences with the OCC coils, the Kangertech coils, but they say they go up to 60. I've not even tried it at 60, and I wouldn't want to either, to be honest with you. I will do 150 watt for you, and see if we're lucky and we don't get a dry hit or a burnt hit. We was lucky today. No burnt hit. Flavour was better on that 50 watt hit, but again, you can't hit that all the time. It's just not going to work for you, and that's what upset me a little bit with the tank. The mod itself, I can't fault. It's quite compact. It seems massive to start with, but when you think about it, it's smaller than a box of 20 fags or 19 or 17, whatever you get in them nowadays. I wouldn't know. So, it's quite compact when you get to the bigger stuff. You got a whole 218 650 batteries in it. It becomes much bigger and stuff. It's nice and compact compared to them. Yeah. Now that's the face you pull. When you get a burnt hit. Like I say, you can't use these at 50 watts for a long period of time. Going to go into a few bits. On the screen here, you have a battery meter. So it just tells you how much battery you've got at the moment. I've got 3 bars out of a possible 4. It gives you a voltmeter. It's firing at 5.5 volts at 50 watts. It reads the ohm of the coil. It's saying 0.6 on here. And it's also got your wattages, so you can see what wattage you're actually vaping at. And you go up and down on the 2 buttons at the bottom here. And there you go. One thing I didn't mention, I forgot to put it back in the box, was the USB charger. You plug the USB in at the bottom here. Put it into a plug that's got a USB socket on. And throw it into the wall. And it charges. You can vape whilst it's charging as well, which is a really handy feature. There's no, it's got a charge, I can't use it, which again is brilliant for a starter pack, because you ain't then thinking, I'm dying for that craving, and you don't then pick up a fag because you can use it whilst it's charging. Just shooing a cat away. They're very intrigued by all of this, I must say, as this first video. They'll get used to it soon, but at the moment they're very, very intrigued. But like I say, at the moment this is all stuff that I bought with my own money. I'm not sponsored or anything else like that. This is what I bought with my own money. I paid £63 with the battery. Sorry about that, just shooing the cat away again. £63. I believe you can get them cheaper now. If you shop about a bit, you can get these a bit cheaper. But as I say, brilliant starter kit. To turn the device off, it's 5 clicks of the button. And it comes up saying off. And 5 clicks turns it back on again. Simple as that. Simple as that. I'm going to quickly take another vape on it. I'm not going to brave another 50. We're at 40 watts. So like I say, I'm new to this, so please forgive me if it's not up to the usual standards of things that you're watching. I'm trying to give honest, good or bad reviews of what I'm trying. I am who I am. My name's Phil. My page is called Phil the Vape. Please like, subscribe. I'm also on Instagram at Phil_the_vape. So like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. You'll see everything that's coming up. I'll start putting pictures up as I get a bit more of a following. I'll start putting pictures up of what I'm going to be reviewing next on Instagram. I'm not going to just go buy something from the shop, open it up in front of you and vape on it for the first time and say, this is brilliant, this is top notch. I want to see what I'm going to get from that product. I'll probably vape on it for a week or so, maybe even a little bit longer, just to tell you a really good in-depth detail of how it is. I'm not going to get into nitty-gritty little bits. It's going to be a nice, simple review, and I hope you guys have liked what you've seen today, and you can subscribe to my channel, like the video. Thank you very much.